Hey everybody, going to be a little walkthrough here on how to apply images to any of the in-game items like sails, flags, and canvases. I'm going to be showing you the example here with the sail, but we can also apply this to any of the other things in-game. So they changed a little bit of the directory structure in the Atlas game. So this will kind of clear up the things that you need to do for the latest version of the game. So you come up and you have to have your paintbrush in hand and you smack it with whatever you're trying to paint. Here we're doing the sail, and right mouse button will rotate. For example, this sail is really hard to see where you're painting, so you gotta really scroll to the side. And if you don't have paint on your brush, you'll have to drag it onto the brush. But then draw around the border of the image that you're trying to apply your image to. So we're going to paint the edges of this sail with our brush. I think if you hold down shift, you can apply a thicker coat of paint so it won't take as long. And once you get that nice and covered up like that, you're going to then go up and hit the save paint. And I'm going to name this Captain just so I can see it in my save directory, but whatever you want to name your sail or your canvas, go ahead and name it here because we're going to go to the final type later. Alright, so here's the file that I'm going to use for my sail, and I need to open up that template that we just created in game using Atlas Paint Converter because we need to convert it into a format that our editing software can use. So we click on open here. And I've got my Steam directory on my E drive. So we need to go to the Atlas folder. So it's going to be under your program files, x86, Steam install. I've got under an alt install, Steam apps, common, Atlas, shooter game, save. This is so deep. My paintings. And in my paintings, I've got a lot of stuff done because I've been working on a lot of these sails. But you can see here the Captain Sail generic C_2 that we just created. I'm going to open that up, and now you're going to see that area that we painted out. It shows the outline of the game sail. You're going to now save that and drop down to a PNG format. And now we've got that as a format that Photoshop can open. And now you need to go in there and find that save file in the directory. I made a shortcut to that deep Steam folder. So open that up and find that file, sail to generic PNG. And now we've got that in game. Zoom in a little bit. And now we're going to take this file here, select all, copy, and then paste it into the template. And I'm going to transform scale. We're going to bring this down so it fits inside of that blue area there. Okay, that looks pretty good. And I think I want to have a black background on this. So then what I'm going to do is I'll zoom in a little bit more. I'm going to outline this blue of the sail. And this can work for any of the templates. You just want to make sure that your image is inside of that template boundary. So I'm going to just use the magic wand tool here. It follows the edge. Good enough. And then let's see, look up here. We got a little notch we have to deal with. Okay, so now we've got this highlighted. I need to select that, and I'm going to paint it black. So I'm going to make a new layer here. That behind the head. So now we've got a nice black sail with the image in front of it. So now we're going to save this image as a JPEG. Suppose we can keep it as a PNG, but we're going to save it as JPEG, and we're going to keep it the same, Captain Sail Generic C_2. So any of these templates, you got to make sure that you save the underscore and then whatever it says behind it. It'll say Sail Generic C_2, or it'll say Sail Generic triple, or it'll say claiming flag underscore settlement. It'll say large canvas underscore C. Any of those after the underscore, you need to make sure you leave that the same, because that's what the game looks for. The first part before that very first underscore, you can name it whatever you want. We're going to keep this as Captain. We're going to go save. Now we need to go back and open up our Atlas Paint Converter. And we're going to load what we just created here. Captain Sail Generic C. Okay. And you can see now that it's placed it. This is what our original image on the left. On the right, this is how it's going to look in game. And we've got some weird color changes. So the nice thing about the Atlas Paint Converter, that it makes it better than the Arc Paint Converter, is you can click out colors and modify the image to get it to look a little bit more like what you wanted. So I'd like to have some of this weird brown in the mustache disappear. You just got to kind of poke around until you find some of those colors that might be creating problems. See, so that put a lot more into the, there we go, that pulls some out. So I'll pull that color, that checkbox of that orange, and that one's not terrible. Yeah, I'm going to pull that out underneath, so that makes this hat all grayish. And you may or may not be able to actually find the right color to pull out, and that's all right. Okay, that pulled a little bit more out, so I'll pull that one off. So play around with it until you find, what you like. And this is how you really can customize your sail in game. And it also removes the number of inks that your painting is going to use in the end. It'll make it a little bit easier to paint. So that's pretty good. So now I'm going to hit save. And we're going to make sure it says Arc Paint. And we're going to keep it as the Captain Sail Generic C2. And we'll be overwriting our template that we made. I'm going to say yes. You don't have to. If you want to keep your template, you could rename it template. So now we're going to go in game and paint this. Okay, so I've gone and made all the dies that I need for this. So when you hit this, we're going to hit load this painting. And we're going to pick the type that we just made, Captain. And it shows all the resource colors that this is going to need. And that's a lot of dies. So you're going to probably have to make a little bit of everything. If there's anything that you haven't made that it needs, let's say you needed some more cyan, it'll show up over here. So on the right side, it'll show you what dyes you need to make. The left side will show what you actually have. So we've selected Captain. It shows our preview here. And now we're going to hit load painting. And now it's going to start doing the painting automatically. So you just kind of sit back and wait. And it can take a while, since this is using so many colors. It could take up to a minute, but probably not. Sometimes it'll seem like it's not doing anything, but just be patient. It's calculating all this. It's saving it into a game file for all other players to see it. And pretty soon we'll be done. So there we are now done. You can see now that it's changed the sail. And I'm going to open this up to 100% and watch it unfurl. And that's looking pretty good. One thing to remember with black is it can kind of wash out your image, especially if it's dark, so you'll have to play with your backgrounds. Last thing you can do is these little flags. You can place your company flag with the radial menu. It'll have an option to place your tribe's image, but you can also radial menu and place your own image, and you smack it with the paintbrush and do the same thing, make your template. and then you'll be able to paint it just like before. The thing about flag images is they tend to shrink them horizontally, so you'll have to shrink that image, and that's why the template's very important. But thanks for watching, and remember, anything in game that you can paint, you can just smack with that paintbrush, make your own templates, find out what the file name is for, and then replace it with your image using your Photoshop and your Atlas image tool, and you should be able to create some pretty cool things. So thanks a lot. Like this video, and follow if you want. I'll be doing more of these, and let me know what you've made. It would be kind of cool to see what everyone else is doing. So thanks a lot, and have a good time on the high seas.